This latest mass shooting is renewing the debate on gun control in the United States. Let's bring in Shawn VanDiver live from California. He's the co-director of the Truman National Security Project San Diego chapter. Shawn, we always seem to see you after events like these, and there's always a lot of talk, but has anything really changed in the recent months, weeks, since the last mass shooting in the United States? And do you think the laws would change if the shooters were foreign-born?
No, Elaine, thanks for having me back on. And the reality is that the GOP and the NRA need to end their love affair. Congressmen got shot at and nothing changed. The reality is that these folks are purchasing their guns legally, which means that maybe we need to change the laws on how we purchase guns, right? And we've talked at length about my proposal to have a 5-year cycle of training, background checks, and mental health screening. Because if a pilot can be screened for mental health, then a gun owner can be screened for mental health. We've talked about magazine size. This shooter, Stephen Paddock, he fired continuously. And if he fired continuously 30 rounds and had to reload, it took him like 20 seconds to reload each time. Imagine if there were only 10 rounds in there. Imagine if there were only 5 rounds in there. Many, many lives would have been saved. Now, I think if we do all of that and tie it to a national concealed carry permit, I think we've improved gun laws in our country and improved access for the right people. We have smart, principled gun laws.
You know, that all sounds like it makes a lot of sense. And there's also been talk by Democrats in the past of a national gun registry where gun owners have to register all of the guns that they own, including the amount. Why has there been such resistance to that idea?
So, Elaine, not only has there been resistance, do you know that it took us a while to figure out where the guns came from and how many he had. This guy had 23 guns in his hotel room alone and more at his house. It took so long to figure out how many guns and where they came from because the records are on paper. In 2017, the gun lobby has done such a good job that our records for gun ownership are on paper. And they simply say that they don't want people to come take the guns. Well, that's just not something that's happening, and not something that anybody has any desire to do. Nobody's going to come take their guns. They just want to have smart, principled gun laws that take care of us. You know, this shooting illustrates more than ever the need for those things. This guy killed more people, and there were he did more damage with 530 plus wounded and 59 killed than any single day in Iraq or Afghanistan in the longest wars in our history.
And Shawn, I spoke to a gun activist yesterday, and I said, is this just the price that Americans have to pay in order to live in their free society? Is this the norm now? I mean, is this the price?
I think that if that's the price we have to pay, we should really take an inward look. I mean, the fact is that I wrote an article 2 years ago called "A Time to Mourn." And it was in response to people saying that talking about gun violence, talking about gun control right after a mass shooting was we needed to give time to mourn. Well, I say that's BS. We have to talk about this. It's not too early to talk about it. It's too late. It's too late for 59 families, and it's too late for nearly 600 families who were killed or wounded the other day. So I don't think that this is the price we have to pay. I think this is the price that we're paying right now, but it's time to throw some people out of Congress and change some laws.
All right, Shawn VanDiver, always great to see you. Thanks for joining us from San Diego.
Elaine.